Hello friends, and a warm welcome. As a professional working makeup artist who specializes in helping those of us over 50, one of the ways I hope I can help you is to test both high-end and drugstore makeup to see how these products perform on those of us over 50 who have mature skin. So I'm excited to share with you today the products that I tried in 2020 that are my top picks for products that can work especially well for us now. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Elise, and I'm passionate about helping those of us who are 50 plus look on the outside how we feel on the inside, so we can look and feel like the very best version of ourselves. So if you'd like to see more videos on tips, techniques, and products that can help those of us over 50 go from good to gorgeous, I hope you'll join our family of subscribers. And if you also hit that bell icon below the video and to the right, you'll automatically be notified each time a new video is available. And I thank you so much in advance if you choose to do so. So before we dive into talking about these products, I just want to mention three things. First, I'll be sharing with you products which actually came out in 2020, as well as products that came out earlier than 2020, but which I tried for the first time this past year. Second, I'll be starting with drugstore products and then moving into medium-priced and higher-end products. But otherwise, they're in no particular order, except I am going to be talking about my top 2 favorite products at the very end. And third, I'm recording this video a few weeks before you'll see it. So by the time this video airs, I will have received and tried out some products that I ordered in November during Sephora's big semi-annual sale. So there is a chance I may be adding a few more products to this list in a future video. With that said, let me share with you some really outstanding makeup products that I tried this past year. First on the list are 5 products from the drugstore brand e.l.f. Oh my gosh, e.l.f. hit it out of the park this year with some really good and interesting products. First is their newest concealer, which is their e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. They did come out a few years earlier with their regular camo concealer, but it was a bit drying. So this year, they introduced a more hydrating version of the camo concealer, which works much better for most of us with mature skin. It's available in 25 shades, which is a good color range. And what I especially love is that on their website, e.l.f. really provides some help so we can find the color that will work the best for us. As we all know, it's really difficult to pick the correct concealer and foundation color from photos on a website. But what e.l.f. has done is offer a 2-step system to help us zero in on our best color choice. First, you can look at all of the shades at one time, or you can just pick the color of your skin tone, fair, light, medium, tan, deeper, rich. And next, if you wish, you can narrow it down further by choosing the appropriate colors for the undertone of your skin, cool, warm, or neutral. So by using this filtering process, you're far more likely to end up with a shade that's a good match for your skin. e.l.f. also offers a light and medium peach color, and peach works wonderfully well as a corrector for dark under-eye circles and discoloration. Now let's take a look at another face product from e.l.f., a cream contour kit. These shades are incredibly creamy and blendable and have a nice range of color. Let me show you. There's also a darker contour kit as well, and it's only $8, a really good value. However, I do wish they had one more light contour shade with more of a pink-based tone, in addition to the light contour which is in the palette, which is more of a yellow tint. Now, let's focus on some eye products from e.l.f. First, one you've most likely heard about before is their $2 Instant Lift Eye Pencil. It comes in 6 colors, but unfortunately there's not one in gray. But what I most love about this eyebrow pencil is the formula. It glides on so easily. Although they have another eyebrow pencil with a smaller tip, this one is a little bit wider, so it really does the job of filling in the brows quickly. Considering what most brow pencils cost from other brands, even other drugstore brands, this is an amazing price point as well as an amazing product. And here's what the Instant Lift eyebrow pencil looks like. It has a spoolie on one end and then the actual eyebrow pencil on the other. Next, let's talk about their bite-size eyeshadow palettes. There are 8 of them, and here are the 4 that I have that I think have the best range of colors and the best formulas. Here's their Carnival Candy palette. Here's the Truffle palette, which is grays, browns, and black. Not surprisingly, this one's called the Pumpkin Pie palette. And this has some wonderful neutral shades. This is their Cream and Sugar palette in beiges and browns. And here are the other colors that are also available. Now, is this the best eyeshadow formula out there? No, it's not. But it's amazingly good, and each of these little eyeshadow palettes cost $3. So it's an incredible bargain. And once we can travel again, these are wonderfully small and portable. And I'd rather take inexpensive makeup with me when I travel, since there's always that chance that makeup in our bags could be jostled and break while traveling. And the last product I want to talk about from e.l.f. is my favorite, only because, as many of you know, I could spend way too much of my time just looking at and playing with eyeshadow palettes. It's e.l.f.'s Retro Paradise eyeshadow palette. I find this palette especially appealing for several different reasons. First, it's a great value. There are 18 eyeshadow pans and it costs $14. I don't think I need to say anything more on that score. Second, 11 of the 18 colors are mattes, which I think makes this palette especially versatile. Third, there are light, medium, and dark colors as well as some brights. So whether you're going for a neutral day look or you want to glam it up with darker shades for evening, this palette really does it all. There are a lot of palettes out there that don't have a lighter color for the inner corner of the eye area or a deep brown or black for the outer corner of the eye. So I appreciate having everything I need for any eye look I want to create in just this one palette. And fourth, looking at these colors frankly just makes me happy. Let me swatch just a few of them for you. So here are just a few of the gorgeous colors in this palette. Now, as I said earlier, this isn't the best eyeshadow formula out there, but it's really darn good, and the shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. Our next focus is on lip liners and lipstick. If you have issues with lipstick feathering, L'Oreal created a wonderful product to help solve that problem when they debuted their Age Perfect makeup line for women over 50 last February. The lip liners not only come in 8 beautiful shades, from a light pink to mocha to deep burgundy, but they have ingredients in them that help prevent lipstick from feathering or migrating. Many other makeup lines have a separate product that helps prevent lipstick feathering, but it's wonderful that L'Oreal created a lip liner that serves the dual purpose of outlining our lips easily and effortlessly, since it really glides on and it prevents feathering. The only unfortunate thing is that it does have to be sharpened. I would gladly pay more for an automatic pencil, especially since these lip liners are not particularly easy to sharpen. And while we're on the topic of L'Oreal's Age Perfect makeup line, I want to also mention the 2 different formula lipsticks from this line. One is called Satin Lipstick with Precious Oils, which comes in 10 colors, and the other is called Luminous Hydrating Lipstick with Nourishing Serums. This also comes in 10 colors, but unfortunately, there are no warm tones in this formula. Hopefully they'll add more colors with warm undertones to the line in the future. Both of these formulas glide on beautifully, and they have a lovely luminous finish. I really do think that L'Oreal hit the mark in creating some lipstick formulas that work especially well for those of us over 50. Here's an example of one of the lip liners, and here's an example of a couple of the colors in one of the formulas. And here are 2 examples from the other formula. Now for a few medium-priced and higher-end eyeshadow palettes that are really top-notch. I recently recorded an entire video focusing on one of my very favorite eyeshadow brands that's great for our older eyes. It's Juvia's Place, and I put a link to that video in the description box below in case you're interested in watching it. They've come out with a number of new palettes this year, but I want to focus on one I recently purchased that's an older palette, but it's a wonderful complement to my very favorite all-matte eyeshadow palette from Juvia's Place, which is called their Warrior 2 palette. This is their Warrior 2 palette, and as you can see, there's a wonderful array of all-matte colors, from light to medium browns, to deeper browns, to burgundy browns, as well as some oranges. And as you can see, I've hit pan on one of them. I use this palette so often. The palette I just purchased, which is the beautiful complement to the Warrior 2, is the Warrior 1 palette that has shades of gold, bronze, and brown in mattes, shimmers, as well as metallics. And here's what the Warrior 1 palette looks like. Isn't there incredible artwork on these different eyeshadow palettes? It's amazing. And here you can see the beiges and the browns and the creams in mattes, metallics, as well as shimmers in this palette. There are only 3 mattes in this palette, but the 3 mattes include a light brown, a medium brown, as well as a deep brown. So there's really everything you need for a wearable all matte neutral look in this palette. There are also 4 amazing metallics and 2 beautiful shimmers. Let me swatch a few of these for you. So here are all the mattes and shimmers from this Warrior 1 palette. They are stunning. And here are the 3 matte colors from this palette. It's a stunning combination of colors and formulas. 3 other really gorgeous palettes, which have excellent formulas for those of us over 50, are from Sydney Grace, which is an independent California brand owned by 2 sisters, and from Natasha Denona. The Sydney Grace palette is called Enduring Love, and I was so impressed that this indie brand did something rather ingenious. They produced a light and a dark version of this palette to accommodate light to medium to darker skin tones. This is the lighter version of the palette. As you saw, it's a cool tone palette that can provide an easy, everyday look, but there are also 3 brighter colors which make the palette more versatile. Let me swatch these brighter colors for you. Here are the 3 brighter colors in this palette. The names of the colors honor some of the greatest love stories in history. There's Romeo and Juliet, Darcy and Elizabeth from Pride and Prejudice, Prince Albert and Queen Victoria, as well as John and Abigail Adams. And 2 shades are named after the parents of the 2 sisters who owned the company, Robert and Deanna. This company is quite new, but has grown very fast because of the amazing formulation of these eyeshadows. They spread like butter and blend beautifully together. The Natasha Denona palettes I want to highlight are one of her smaller 5-pan palettes called the Lila Mini Palette and one of her 15-pan palettes called the Sunrise Palette. I almost didn't mention the Lila palette because it's unfortunately no longer available at Sephora or on the Natasha Denona website, but I have seen it on Amazon. But it's been such a favorite of mine that I just had to mention it and show it to you. Here is the Natasha Denona Mini Lila palette. For me, it's all about the amazing color story and the amazing formula of these buttery shadows. Let me swatch them for you. And here are the swatches from the Mini Lila palette. That color at the bottom, called Flint, is a gorgeous transition color. And then there are 3 nice mattes in this palette and 2 beautiful shimmers. And next, here's Natasha Denona's Sunrise palette. As the name implies, it's a beautiful combination of yellows, oranges, red, pinks, and purples. There's 7 mattes and 8 shimmers and metallics, and it's extremely versatile palette with buttery, blendable shadows. But it is definitely a warm tone palette. So if you're not into warm tone colors, this may not be the right palette for you. But I love pairing it up with some cool tone colors from the Sydney Grace palette, which we looked at just a moment ago, or one of my other cooler tone palettes. Let me show you some swatches. Here are some swatches from this palette, both some of the mattes as well as some of the metallics and shimmers. Next are 2 face products which have only come out recently, the Liquid Blush and the Liquid Highlighter from Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty brand. The Soft Pinch Liquid Blushes are highly pigmented and come in 8 light to deeper colors ranging from corals to reds to pinks and violets. 4 have a dewy finish and 4 have a matte finish. They absolutely melt into the skin for a gorgeous, soft look. And since they are so highly pigmented, you only need 1 or 2 drops. In fact, you probably only need 1 drop. I put 2 drops on when I was initially applying it today, and it was a little too heavy on the blush. So I had to go back in and apply some foundation over it to calm it down a bit. So a little goes a very long way with these blushes. This is the blush I used called Happy, and let me show you a swatch of it. As you can see, this is just one drop. I probably could have used a quarter of that drop and it would have been just fine. And look at the color payoff just on my wipe as I was wiping it off. This is amazing pigmentation, and because of that, it lasts a very long time. The Positive Light Liquid Luminizers also come in 8 shades, from pearl to pink to a gold, peach, and a bronze. They're stunning and buildable. You can get a very soft glow with just a touch of this liquid luminizer, or you can apply a little bit more to get a stronger glow. These liquid products are especially wonderful for those of us over 50, because as our skin gets drier, powder blushes and highlighters can sometimes look splotchy and uneven. These absolutely give a lit from within natural glow. This is what the luminizer looks like. This is in the shade Mesmerize. I hope you can get the full picture of the glow as I move my hand. And last but not least are my 2 absolutely can't do without products, which I discovered in 2020. The first is Colorscience's Total Eye 3-in-1 Renewal Therapy product. What makes this product so unique is that it not only brightens the eye area because of the color correcting it does, but it also reduces the appearance of dark circles and puffiness. In addition, it has a chemical-free 100% mineral SPF of 35, and it provides excellent hydration, which helps reduce the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. And they recently expanded the color range from 1 to 4, so it now comes in fair, medium, tan, and deep. This is a pricey product, but the good news is that a little goes a very long way, so this will last for quite a long time. Here's what it looks like, and here's the applicator. And my final product that I absolutely love, and which has exceeded my expectations, is a product from Hourglass. It's the Ambient Lighting Ghost Edit Palette from last year that has 2 setting powders, a strobe highlight powder, 2 blushes, as well as a bronzer. Hourglass comes out with a new palette each year around this time, so there is a new version of this palette this year with slightly different colors. This is quite expensive, but it lasts an incredibly long time. In fact, I use it often and I haven't even made a dent in it. And each of these blushes, bronzers, finishing powders, and highlighters comes in quite a few different colors as well. And what's good news is that they can be purchased individually in a regular size and in a less expensive mini size. So there are more affordable options if you want to try out one of these products. And here's the palette I have. The 2 finishing powders are at the top to your left, and then the strobe highlighter is to the far right on top. And as you can tell on the bottom, there's a bronzer and then 2 blushes. Frankly, I never thought I'd get this excited about a palette containing finishing powders, blushes, bronzer, and highlight. But there is something almost magical about this formula. At the end of my makeup routine, I usually apply a slight dusting of the blush over my liquid blush and a slight dusting of the highlight over my liquid highlight. Then I mix together both of the finishing powders and apply them over most of my face. They simply meld together every product on the face and make the entire face appear perfectly blended and seamless, while also creating a gorgeous soft glow. I don't know how they do it. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and if so, I would so appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. And I also hope you'll share with us in the comments section below what some of your favorite makeup products have been this past year. Since there's so many makeup brands and products out there, sharing this type of information with each other can really be helpful. I hope you can join me again next Thursday, but until then, I wish you much health and happiness, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Take care.